Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have a real treat. We are meeting with Sherilyn Castleman, and she's the author of a wonderful new book called What's in the Cards. Welcome, Sherilyn.
Thank you, Gerhard. Appreciate that. I'm excited to be here to talk about the new book, What's in the Cards, 5 Post-Pandemic Selling Strategies, is just very timely and actually getting a lot of attention, and people are learning a lot about what we can do to take these sour lemons from 2020 and make the best lemonade we can for 2021.
The lemonade started about in March, and you live in Washington, D.C.
Right.
And what were your feelings when it hit you that this is going to stay?
I remember, just like most of us do, that pivotal moment in March of 2020. I had been teaching live financial fluency classes, and I realized that I had to teach this class virtually. And I kind of paused, and I remember thinking, okay, Sherilyn, how do we do this? And what if, instead of selling like we've always done, what if we solutioned with our clients? What if instead of, as people start reimagining or thinking about what they're going to do differently, we connected with clients? I used to spend 20% of my time building relationships and 80% of my time selling. So I said, what if we flip that and we spent 80% of our time connecting with our clients and then 20% of our time solutioning? And that's what I started teaching, and that's what I started doing. And so when I talk about empathy and empathetic listening, I also remind everybody that there are 3 levels of listening. So the first one is what I call level 1, or I call it restaurant listening. When you go to a restaurant and they go, do you want steak or do you want salmon? We start thinking, okay, I had fish last week. I promised I'm not going to eat as much steak. We're not thinking or listening to what they're saying. We're talking inside. And a lot of people listen that way. Level 2 listening is what I say usually good salespeople do, and that's the reflective listening. So when somebody says, oh, I'm sad or overwhelmed, you said, oh, I hear you're saying you're sad and you're overwhelmed. But level 3 listening, when you're present, is listening to what's going on between the words. It is listening to what people aren't saying. It is listening for the tone. Are they, are they quiet? Are they slow? Are they pausing? Are they not really present? Are they worried about that toddler under their desk? Or are they worried about their family member who may be in a nursing home that they can't see? And so I always encourage salespeople to do what I call box breathing, and just take a deep breath, bring oxygen in, and when you let that air out slowly, it lowers your heart rate. And when you lower your heart rate and you lower your blood pressure, it quiets your mind and it allows you to truly listen. And I say, if nothing else, slow down, listen to people, connect with people. And if you connect with people, they will solution with you.
There's something in a deck of cards there's one card that's never played, but it's always in the deck. What is that card?
That's the Joker.
Right.
And my book is called What's in the Cards. And the reason why is for 2 reasons. One, the acronym that I use, or mnemonic that I use to help people try to remember how to sell in a post-pandemic time, is cards. C stands for collaborative, A stands for analysis, R stands for relationship, D stands for development, and S stands for strategic. And that's where What's in the Cards came from.
What other services do you provide? Do you do virtual keynotes on the book, or?
I've been speaking to a lot of companies about the importance of hiring women and women of color. In addition to executive coaching and sales training, I'm also the Chief Learning Officer for Sisters in Sales. And Sisters in Sales is an organization that is committed to helping women of color, Black and Brown women, advance their careers in sales, network, as well as I partner with companies to help them increase, attract and hire women of color, as well as retain them. One very quick tip I have for your audience is look at your connections in LinkedIn. If everybody in LinkedIn looks like you, make a commitment to connect with 10 people that don't look like you. Women outsold men today by about 11%. Women sales managers outlead and outsell male sales managers. And one of the reasons is coming out of the pandemic, women are better at collaboration and building relationships and listening. And so people tease me and they say, well, are you saying men need to learn to sell like women? And I'm saying, yeah, a little bit they need to. We need to become more empathetic. We need to connect with people.
Envision with me that What's in the Cards is going to be featured in the Oprah Book Club.
That would be phenomenal. And I think it would be phenomenal for 3 reasons. First of all, like I said, I've been in sales for over 25 years, and I have shared tips and ideas and stories. And the reason why I do is I want people that everybody doesn't have to have the same struggles that I did. And if you can learn from those and succeed, I think it's great for salespeople. I've also had a lot of CEOs and attorneys and non-salespeople read it, and they say it's a type of book that people should keep on their desk just to reference about, we've all been through this pandemic together. And so it's not about sales, it is about how do we connect with each other coming out of this pandemic? How do we remember that if given a choice, choose kindness? I tell a story in the book about choosing kindness. I tell a story about, my dad's very first home that we did. And one of my dad's neighbors called him up and said, I'm giving you this home. Just take this house. I never want to see it. And he said this because his renters had a pet monkey. They had moved out and they left the monkey in the house for 2 weeks. So my dad, being the visionary that he is, after he called animal control and they removed the monkey, and the monkey had did exactly what any primate would do, locked in a house. They had smeared feces everywhere. But my dad had a vision. And so that's what I talk to people about, is that no matter how bad this is, we can have a vision for what it's going to be like in the future. My dad gutted the house, power washed the house, sealed the house, sanitized the house, new carpet, new paint, and sold it. And this was the very first property he sold, and he went on to have a very successful business coming out of that. And so I share that story to say, no matter how bad it is, we can visualize and have success.
Well, I recommend anybody who's listening, get the book, What's in the Cards.
Thank you. It's available on Amazon. It's also available on postpandemicselling.com. Is also where the book is available.